this weekend, guys, we're gonna have some awesome champions for the 15x progressive chance during the fusion and during the summon rush. Now, actually, we're gonna have tons and tons of different champions, new ones every single day. We have a massive list of champions. The summon rush will start tomorrow, guys. Now, from the summon rush, you are gonna be able to collect one of the epic champions for the week 12 fusion and one of the rare champions. If you skipped any of the previous events, now is the moment to kind of like go in and make sure you're putting your hand on that epic champion. Plus, I've seen Cold Brew made a video on the epic champion, saying that it's a pretty awesome one, deals a lot of damage. I haven't personally tried the epic champion myself just yet, you know. If you are completing the summon rush, and if you have completed, for example, a few different events, you're going to be able to skip some other events. So maybe you want to skip the next Dungeon Divers event, or maybe you're going to want to skip some artifact enhancement events, which, let's be honest, they are pretty damn costly, regardless if we're talking about silver or energy. But let me just quickly bring you the list on the screen, guys, for a quick second, so you guys can have a look, pause the video if you want to. But basically, I'm going to go over each one of these champions. So the very first champion is a brand new one, is a Glaciad, was added in the last patch. It's actually a pretty interesting one. I wouldn't mind summoning one, to be honest. We have a speed aura for all battles. He is a support champion, pretty good base stats, good speed as well. With the A1, he has a chance to freeze if the target is under less than 50% HP. We don't need accuracy for that. Then with the A2, gives you increased attack, gives you turn meter, and gives you perfect veil. My only problem with this skill is that it's on a 4-turn cooldown. Why not a 3-turn cooldown, Plarium? Why a 4-turn cooldown? Seriously. 2024. You know, this would be very nice on a 3-turn cooldown for a Hydra clan boss. Like this on a 4-turn cooldown, I think is a bit hard to make it work. With the A3, revives all dead allies with 40% HP and 25% turn meter, gives them increased accuracy and increased defense. If he doesn't revive nobody, he's still going to place the buffs, and if he doesn't revive nobody, he will gain an extra turn, which I guess is nice for his A2 to bring it down to a 3-turn cooldown. So I kind of like understand why they put that on a 4-turn cooldown. And this will be on a 4-turn cooldown, guys, which again can be brought down to a 3-turn cooldown if you don't revive. So it can be pretty nice for Hydra. Now, the creme de la creme is this 10% extra damage if your allies have perfect veil placed by this champion. This will boost the damage in Hydra, so I think it's pretty damn nice. Plus, if you're going against targets that already have perfect veil, you're gonna deal 10% more damage, which is pretty nice. Then the next champion on the list is going to be Sun Wukong. I actually wouldn't mind a couple of copies just to empower mine. You guys know the drill. He was free. He's super strong as a champion. He was the very first champion in the game to bring Polymorph as a debuff with the A2. He deals splash damage. You can build him in quite a few different ways and get tons of value out of this champion. I do think that the best build for Sun Wukong is a hybrid build where you have as much damage as possible and you try to get 300 plus accuracy to be able to polymorph the threat in the enemy team, regardless if he's a nuker, if he's a lockout champion or something like that. A very good speed aura for arena battles. If you don't have a Sun Wukong, and you are going for the fusion, I do wish you luck to summon one because he's an absolute game changer. Removes all buffs, puts block buffs, great for Hydra, stun with A1. The passive is disgusting, constantly bringing him up back with full HP and turn meter. It's actually so nasty. Always coming back and annoying you if you don't block the revive on the champion. Then we have Razelvarg. I recently made a video on this champion, and he is a Hydra beast, guys. You can run him in the Fire Knight. You can do clan boss teams with him. You can run him as a arena nuker for progression if you want to. But he brings a lot of damage in the Hydra. Basically, he's kind of like unique-ish champion because he deals damage based on attack and speed. The more speed, the more attack, the more damage, basically. And you have this passive that will increase the speed every time he places increased speed with his A3. So that makes him very nice. He gives you increased accuracy, he puts Leech, a triple hitter, tons and tons of damage. With the A1, I saw him hitting for like 1.8 million on my Hydra Brutal team. So definitely a solid pick. Then we have Mortu Macab. My god, I forgot about Mortu. Yeah, he's kind of like lost in in the history of Raid Shadow Legends, guys. He's not really doing much at the moment. He does have this nasty Pearl skill, which will unlock. Is a chance to unlock it, basically, from the passive whenever he gets hit. And he hits pretty hard with this. He can block revive, so he was in the meta in Arena for a long time in Platinum Arena, till Harima and other champions came out. But definitely a solid one, you know. Speed aura for all battles, 24%, which is nice. He has block buffs, heal reduction on the A1. But let's be honest, he's not really strong anymore, you know. Very easy to counter in Arena if we're talking about that. Then we have Kaja DeVry. She was part of a Deck of Fate event when we had the Teamot Fusion, if I'm not mistaken. I still haven't summoned mine. I still haven't summoned Teamit either. So she's a decent reviver. You have a speed aura for all battles. Pretty good stats. Good speed on her, which I like. Attacks an enemy. Heals a bit the champion. If Teamit is on the same team, he's gonna heal him as well. Revives all that allies with 50% HP. 50% turn meter, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage. If Teamit is on the same team, revives them with full HP and turn meter, which is definitely pretty nice. Plus, if he's on the same team and alive, resets the cooldown and instantly activates one of his skills, you know? And this is on a 4-turn cooldown. Then you have this skill right here that fills the turn meter and cleanses Teamit if he's in the same team, and you're getting block debuffs. I wish this skill would have a cleanse as well before applying the block debuffs, you know? That would be even better. Then talking about big boy Void legendary champions, we have Mr. Cardiel, the sexy man of Raid Shadow Legends, guys. Awesome ally attack champion. I feel like he lost a bit of value since Mikage for Hydra and other areas. I'm still using mine a lot in Hydra in Fire Knight Curse series. He's an absolute monster. Like, you're getting so much value out of this champion. Mine is built for damage on Savage, actually, at around 300 speed or so. But he's definitely really good. Speed aura for all battles. You have increased crit rate, increased crit damage, ally attack with the entire team. You have a cleanse, block debuffs, revive on that cannot be removed, healing with the A1 and the passive. Super solid. Then we have Valkonen. Valkonen was guaranteed. Unfortunately, I did not have the shards to get him. I would like him, honestly. He's pretty fun. I do think he's a polymorph magnet if we are talking about high-end arena. But other than that, he is pretty effective. In Hydra, he can do some serious damage. You have speed aura for arena battles. This attack ignores shield with A1. Has a chance to decrease the duration of all debuffs. Does a debuff spread too. You put Hex with A2, which is AoE as well. Plus, you're dealing some decent damage. And yeah, you have this weird skill that basically kills an ally, you know? It's just gonna kill him. And that activates the secret skill. But Valkonen is a solid option as well. Then we do have some epic champions, guys. I feel like some of them are being used in the Mikage fusion, if I'm not mistaken. Probably a couple of them. We have Lockwayne. I wouldn't necessarily use him as a champion out of the fusion, to be honest. He's not bad, but he's not great either. You know, I wouldn't personally invest in the champion. Then we have Deacon Armstrong. So Deacon, you guys know the drill. He's a very popular champion in Raid Shadow Legends. One of the top epics, actually. Speed aura for all battles. Turn meter manipulation, extra turn into defense down, and then leech on the A1. Enables some nice clan boss comps. And yeah, it is overall a pretty solid epic. Then we have Doom Priest. I'm actually a massive fan of Doom Priest. She's a very simple champion, guys, but all that matters is this passive. You know, you're getting healing, cleanse. One debuff from your team is very nice. Plus, you're getting increased attack. The A1 is not special. It's not something that you would want to have because it can mess up some of the things. But overall, is definitely a pretty solid epic champion, and the reviews will tell you that. You know, awesome character. Then we have Akemtum as a Void epic, guys. Yes, Akemtum, he is solid as well. He's probably one of the best debuff spread champion in the game. The best hexer, I would say, too. The A1 attacks 3 times, has a chance to put poison, spread debuffs if the target is under a hex. Attacks all enemies, has a chance to put hex debuff on enemies for 1 turn, and he can do that with every single hit. He has this amazing passive that interacts really good with spider on hard mode, where you can basically just wipe instantly all of the spiderlings with the poison and the hex. Super awesome strat, and speed aura for all battles. Then we have Gembo the Dishonored, guys. I wish we would have a solid legendary version of Gembo. We still don't really have something similar. Speed aura for arena, steals the increased attack with A1. AoE attack decreases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. You don't need accuracy if you crit hit. And he buffs himself with increased crit rate, increased crit damage, and grants an extra turn. And the passive is actually pretty nice on the champion. When they released him, I really had high hopes for him, but then Empowerment was kind of like into the peak, you know? So he did not have a chance to do much, unfortunately. Then moving over to Saturday, guys. So that was for Friday. We have Giat, the Truth Shield, which is the new Night Revenant legendary, guys, defense-based champion. She sounds interesting on paper. You have a defense aura for all battles with A1, places a extra hit on enemies under decreased crit rate on or crit damage placed by this champion. Is always going to be a normal hit, places increased defense on herself. This one right here attacks all enemies. Before attacking, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. Damage inflicted by this skill is increased by 5% for each buff that had its duration increased. So unfortunately, it's not really doing any insane damage. I tried her in Dragon 10 hard mode with tons and tons of buffs. She was one-shotting the waves, but she had a pretty nasty build as well. So if you're not in a scenario where you can put in like 6-7 buffs per champion, she's not really going to do much, you know? Then puts reflect damage on all allies, ally protection, strengthen and increase resistance on herself. The passive basically will have a chance to land a decreased crit rate and decrease crit damage on the attacker. So she's interesting, but she's nothing too insane. Then we have Kyoku. I do think that the theme for Saturday is ally protection. Kyoku is amazing. I actually summoned yesterday another Kyoku. I just opened a primal shard and just bang a Kyoku dropped out of there. She's nice because of the following things. She can put decreased attack or HP burn if the decreased attack doesn't land. You have ally protection, block damage, extra turn. Very, very solid skill. And then you have this passive that gives you a bit of healing, gives you increased defense when hit by a crit hit. And the A1 can become a triple hitter and land weaken. And you have defense aura for all battles. So definitely Kyoku is a solid one. Then we have Blizzard the Howler, guys. Another Axe Fusion champion. I think he was the Christmas Fusion, if I'm not mistaken. Good for the Fire Knight because of the A1 and the chance to land the freeze. You have removes all the crowd control debuffs from all allies, gives them increased defense and ally protection on a 3-turn cooldown, freezes all of the enemies, and decreases the turn meter. So overall, he's a nice one. With the passive, he can basically revive himself with a revive on that. He can solo the Sand Devil's Necropolis if you have a 5-star blessing on him, Brimstone. And he was able to solo Amias, but that got fixed, you know. So he was pretty nice. Then we have Korugar the Deathbell. Korugar Deathbell. He's actually a pretty nice ally protection champion. I still need to build mine. I haven't built mine in such a long time. I summoned him literally, I think, the first week when they released him into the game. He has good base stats, HP based champion, attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies, fills the turn meter, removes all debuffs from all allies, which is very nice and very annoying in the Curse series. And then you have ally protection and strengthen on all allies on a 3-turn cooldown. Plus the passive increases the champion's resistance and the teammates' resistance too. So he's definitely a nasty one. Super annoying, guys. Then we have Sneak Track. I summoned Sneak Track last week as well. I still haven't built mine. Reflect damage from the champion. He brings quite a few different things. AoE decreased speed, decreased attack with A1. He's definitely not a bad champion. The passive can be pretty annoying as well in the Curse series. Then we have Krisk. Krisk. Nobody likes this champion. I'm not sure why. Maybe because he's not too good. That's why he has 6,000 reviews, guys. Look at that. He used to be Arena Mera once upon a time. You have Provoke, you have increased defense, increased speed, you have decreased speed, you have ally protection, continuous heal, you have the shield from the passive with defense down, decreased attack, My god, Krisk is just so damn nasty, guys. I know a lot of people are dreaming to summon a Krisk. And hey, I don't blame you. Then we have one more ally protection champion, Nakret the Great, and he is really the great, guys. These passives are just absolutely disgusting. He only needs 6 freaking books. I'm always saying it, but he only needs 6 books, and he is just so damn powerful. He can keep any champion alive, guys. Any champion can be alive if he is covered by his ally protection. Then the passives coming in play. He has ally attack with champions that are under ally protection placed by him. Decrease attack with the A1. Block debuffs, ally protection, strengthen. Very strong. Like, he killed the Hegemon meta when they introduced him into the game. I do gotta say, though, recently, since we have all of these crazy mythicals in the game and stuff, I have not used my Nakret in Arena in a very long time. Probably 1.5 to 2 months. So that does say quite a few things, that he is sliding a bit of the top meta, but he is still amazing as a champion. And I would still like to summon dupes to empower mine. Of course, we have some epic champions as well. Some pretty good ones, actually. We have Toragi the Frog. Tons of awesome things with this champion. Decrease attack, you have provoke, you have reflect damage, you have shield, you have poisons. They're using him a lot in the Raid Shadow Legends ads, actually. They've made some pretty cool ads with him. Then we have Sunless Survivor. Increases the duration of buffs. I like the passive. Her passive was actually pretty solid for Arena as well when they brought her into the game, because she's gonna put ally protection on your team and block damage on herself, you know. She can provoke with A1 and deal decent damage as well, you know. Definitely not a bad one. Then we have Skull Crusher. I feel like Skull Crusher as well is part of the history. This used to be the most desired epic champion in Raid Shadow Legends 5 years ago. Everybody wanted Skull Crusher. If you were asking somebody, what's your most wanted epic? Skull Crusher, Skull Crusher. Because he was the only epic champion that was putting a counterattack buff on your entire team, you know, which is actually pretty crazy. Heal reduction on the A1. The passive decreases the duration of the debuffs by 1 turn. Look at the reviews. Tons and tons of reviews on Mr. Skull Crusher. But again, there's so many different options nowadays in Raid, guys, that Skull Crusher completely got eclipsed by other epics. Then we have Andrisia, moving on to the Void ones. She's a nice one as well. I don't really use her anywhere, but you can get some utility out of her. So basically with A1, decrease crit damage. With this one, she has a chance to stun. And this decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. And increases the duration of increased defense on the team. She has a passive where she puts ally protection, strengthen, and increase defense. So definitely not too shabby, you know. She's a decent one. Then we have one more, which is one of my faves. Let me put it like that. White Dryad Nia. I love this champion to death. She's just so amazing, and she enables so many cool things into the game. AoE on the A1 with decreased speed. This is the creme de la creme. Removes all debuffs from a target ally, heals them by 40% of their max HP, and decreases the cooldown of the skills by 2 turns. So if you have 2 of them, you can constantly reset Yumeko. I've made a video on a Hydra team recently with her and Yumeko. She can reset Amic. It goes on and on with the voids that can reset skills, you know. So she's actually awesome. Ally protection, the small version of strengthen too. So a pretty nice champion, you know. The passive is not too bad either. Increases the healing. Then we have Sunday, guys. The last day. I feel like I'm out of breath after all of these champions. Elva, she was guaranteed for 20 sacreds. Amazing reviver. She's being used even in live arena quite a bit in the higher tiers. Speed aura, you have clans, block debuffs, increase speed, revives a dead ally, continuous heal with the A1, and with the passive, the perfect Veil 2 on the ally with the lowest HP is very nice. So she's an awesome champion. Then we have Bad El Khazar, guys. He's still nice. He is sliding back into the meta for Hydra teams. A lot of the big boy Hydra teams with Randa that deal 20, 30, 40, 50 billion damage, they use a Bad El Khazar in the team. And that is actually very nice. And mainly because You can run him on a 9-piece protection set and boost your damage like that, you know. So it's definitely a pretty interesting thing. The passive, you deal more damage against targets under poison debuff, so that's very, very nice. Plus, you're getting healing rather than getting your HP destroyed by Gerptek, you know, which slowly eats your HP with the small poisons. Then we have Oela. Oela was a fusion, actually. She's pretty nice too. I actually don't mind her at all. I think she's a pretty nice champion. I don't think she's OP or anything like that, but she's definitely pretty useful for a lot of players. You know, you have decreased speed on the A1, heals all of your allies, increases the duration of all ally buffs. Then you get Thermiter. You're getting increased resistance on your team, and she has a passive that kind of like works better with the Ultan of the Shell, which is her partner. Not a fan of that champion, to be honest. Then we have Noct the Paralyzer. I still haven't summoned this bad boy. He can solo some content. You have decreased accuracy with the A1, sleep, poisons, and right here ally protection and continuous heal. The passive as well is pretty nice because you're getting extra healing. When an ally is attacked while under an ally protection buff, has a chance to put a sleep on them, you know. HP aura in dungeon battles. He looks super awesome as a character. I really like the green daggers, the stance, you know, the way they build the armor around him. Pretty badass. Then we have probably the worst legendary in Raid Shadow Legends, guys, and I'm not even kidding you. Lady of Irate. She's literally the worst legendary in the game. Like, I cannot think of a worse legendary than her. Like, you guys let me know in the comments down below. But I don't think we're gonna find one. Instantly activates a random continuous heal on all allies. Then we have removes all debuffs from a target ally, heals it, and if the target is not fully healed, you're getting block damage. And if it's fully healed, you're getting Thermiter. Strengthen and continuous heal on all allies. That's about it, guys. That's about it. All that she does. Maybe she's not really the worst. Maybe we could find a couple of them that are worse than Lady of Irate, but still, she's an epic in a legendary skin, you know. Then we have Sina Amber Heart. I think she is a dwarf. She's the new one that was added to the game, yeah. Reviver. I like the mechanic on the revive skill, but overall, I think she's definitely not that solid. How you may notice, the reviews are kind of like giving the right vibes too. With A1, instantly activates continuous heal. The A2 increased speed, continuous heal, and Thermiter, which is not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely not bad. Revives all that allies with 50% HP and Thermiter, and teams up with all of the revived allies to attack. So it's kind of like an ally attack on the revive. It's not a bad skill. It can be interesting, but I feel like the rest of the kit, is a bit underwhelming for a Void Legendary champion. That's my only complaint why I'm saying that she's not that strong, because she's Void. If she was not a Void Legendary, I wasn't gonna say anything. But because she's a Void, I'm feeling like, yeah, she's just a bit too underwhelming. Speed aura for all battles. Then we have Tuhanarak. Tuhanarak, she rocks. She rocks, but she sucks at the same time in Hydra. She sucks on auto. She's just so bad on auto, but on manual, she is absolutely nuts. She can do a lot of awesome things. Spread debuffs, put decrease attack, block buffs, decrease speed with A1, continuous heal, increase defense, increase speed, and then she has basically the same passive like Doom Priest, just on steroids. I am running mine on 9-piece protection for Hydra Clan Boss, but I'm manualing the run. On auto, it never goes good, honestly, because she's always using this skill at the wrong moment. I don't know why, but always using it at the wrong moment. She's very good to help you deal with the Head of Torment, though. So she's a solid one. Then, moving over to the epic characters, guys. We're gonna have... let me start with the Void, since I was down here. Demita, she is on the list, so now is your chance from the 15x progressive event. If you are going for the fusion, why not try and snipe Demita? She might help your account with an unkillable team. You know, you have block damage on a 3-turn cooldown. I actually built a Demita Clan Boss team yesterday for a takeover, and yeah, she's super nice. Then we have Eurogrim, guys. He is an awesome epic champion as well. like a mini battle Khazar, I would say. Speed aura for all battles, poison, continuous heal. You have a cleanse on an ally, poisons on the A1, a double hitter. I'm using him in quite a few different areas, but mainly it's PvE content like a Curse City or areas like this, you know. Then we have Delijah. I cannot say this name properly. I managed to empower mine to +4, guys. Don't ask me why. Okay, it's only for the Curse City for one stage. But she's an HP based champion. She deals a decentish amount of damage. Has a chance to put poisons, decrease attack AoE, and you have continuous heal and a shield, which is definitely pretty nice. But I like this passive. Counter attacks when ally lizardmen except this champion are attacked, you know. HP aura for faction creeps. She's not a bad character. Definitely not a bad character. Then we have Eolfrig. I think he is he a Bannerlord or a Sacred Order, the epic? I can't remember. Eolfrig, there we go. Eolfrig the Handsome. Speed aura for all battles, 15%. Decrease attack on the A1. Attacks all enemies. A chance to steal one random buff. Continuous heal on all allies. Fills the thermometer and gives you increased attack. So he's a decent one. You can definitely get some utility out of the champion, especially for a faction wars. Removes all decreased attack debuffs from all allies at the start of this champion's turn. This is actually a very nice passive, though. This passive is definitely really good to make sure you're not losing damage with your team. Dragon, for example, he's gonna put decreased attack on you. And then we have Wyrnern the Silken. Now, I can't really remember from what faction this epic is, so I'm gonna have to quickly kind of like check a bit some of the factions. Judging by the name, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say it. Is it from here? Yes, she is from here. She's the one. The Silken kind of like push me to the Sylvan Watchers. She can revive, increase speed, increase thermometer, and you have decreased attack with the A1. I actually have mine built. She's very good for faction wars, guys. Usually, you kind of need to have a revival for most factions when you're trying to defeat the faction wars, especially on the last stages, you know, when you're facing the bosses. But definitely a decent-ish reviver. So I have mine built for the Curse City, though. That was all for this video. My god, so many champions. The good thing is, guys, that when we have a summon rush with a fusion and we have decent champions, it doesn't feel so bad when you're opening your shards, because maybe you're gonna get one of these champions. And let's be honest, we have a lot of awesome champions on the list. Let me know which one is your most favorite. Is it a new one? Is it an OG champion? I feel like my most wanted out of the entire list, probably non-void, because I'm not planning to go crazy on voids or anything like that. I think it's going to be Sun Wukong, just to be able to empower my main guys. But that was all for the video. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.